Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, you're welcome to like, subscribe, share, and comment. If you want to be part of the Graceful family, you know what to do. You just gotta subscribe, like, share, and comment. And voila, you're part of the most positive family in the hood worldwide. So today we're gonna do a video quiz, guys. Let me put my tea aside. It's still hot day, and I love cold tea, actually, coffee. So today we're gonna do a quiz, right? This video is inspired by Mpoomy, Ledwaba, and Brenden Praise. They did, I think it's a recent video they did to say self-awareness questions to ask yourself. So these are questions we're gonna ask each other, and then we're gonna give answers. I hope you guys enjoy, and then maybe in the comment section you can give us your answers. So question number one is. Which of your parents, let's see, when you were young, whose love did you crave the most? Like, is it your mom? Is it your dad? You can go first.
Okay. Firstly, hi family, hi Graceful family. I think I craved my mom's love because of I never knew my dad for a while. Like I know he was present, but he obviously left when I was 3. Mm-hmm. So if you don't know a person, you don't crave their love. For me,
you didn't care. You didn't care whether he loved you or not.
No, I did, but because of he wasn't part of my life, I didn't crave his love more than my mom's love. Because of I knew my mom is there, I knew that I need to please the person that is currently here with me now. Okay. So I need to obviously love the person and crave for her love more because of she's doing everything for me. Like she's giving me anything I want. And then for my dad, I felt like he's around, yes, but I didn't crave for his love because of I didn't know how his love felt.
Okay, sure. That's actually very deep. Okay, with me, it's actually the opposite. Growing up, I craved my mother's love the most because I've always been a daddy's girl. Like me and my dad are like bosom buddies. I think like we're the best of friends. Like I don't know. I can't imagine. I'm sorry, Ma, because I know this might start war. I'm not trying to bash my mom or anything like that, or any of my parents for that matter. Mm-hmm. But I've always been very close with my dad. I grew up very close with my dad. I'm a daddy's girl. Like I think even right now, if I were to get pregnant or something really drastic happens, the first person I'll think of calling is my dad, and not because I don't love my mom or anything like that. But growing up, I craved my mother's love the most because my mom was strict. Actually, we come from a very strict family. Okay. Like, my mother's family is very strict. Funny enough, I was laughing with my mom Kulu yesterday when she was saying she's changed. She's no longer as intense as she used to be. And I see it, because I think maybe overseas is a different culture. That's why they've become a bit modern. Mm-hmm. But when even my mom Kulu's, my aunt and all of that, when they were in Africa, they were very strict. Okay. And I know it was never from a bad place, but when I was a kid, I interpreted it as
definitely
why can't my mom be cool, why can't my mom be like my dad? Because my dad has a different approach of parenting. My dad is a very soft-spoken person. Yeah. He doesn't believe in shouting. He didn't believe in hiding. He was a person to sit you down and ask you, is this the life you're choosing for yourself? And at some point that would be enough because I would be so scared and he would have me thinking about my whole future or my whole life, right? But my mom on the other side, my mom didn't want any mistakes. My mom is a perfectionist at heart. She believed in co-excellence. And my mom's parenting style is military, but she's become a bit modern because I see with my siblings, she's not as tense as not tense, I think that's the wrong word, but she's not as strict as she used to be with me because my mom also is a very particular person. Okay. Things must be done a certain way. Right. You must cook a certain way. You must clean a certain way. Because you could clean the way you want and it still looks clean, but because you didn't do it her way, all right, she would be like, actually, no, it's not clean because you didn't do it her way. So for me, I think it made me sort of always want to be with my dad because I would feel like, my dad is laid back. I can get away with eating cornflakes for dinner. But when my mom's like, who do you think you are? Cornflakes are for breakfast, you know? So I feel like I always wanted my mother to love me more. I always wanted, because in a real world, right? I think even Mpoomy said it, her mothers are general love givers.
Yes.
But I think how my mother expressed her love, and now I see how much she loves me. Like every single day I wake up so thankful that I've reached a point. I think also with age, I think as you grow, I think Mpoomy even said it the other time in another video to say, as you grow older, you become closer with your parents. And I see it every day. With my dad, it's just different because we've always been close, right? But I see now with my mom, we've become closer because my mom lets me be now. I make my own choices, and it's just always me running them past to her just to see how she feels and stuff like that. But as a kid, I've always wanted my mom to be soft, I guess. And I think now I'm happy because of the equilibrium. Because there's always been a balance in my life. I knew, like, also my mom is very strict but very protective. Like, she can be strict, she can be the one to yell at me and all of that, but she never appreciated me being abused by other people. Like, things could really go south. My mom was those parents, like, if my teacher did not mark my homework, my teacher is going to, maybe if my teacher makes me feel otherwise, for something I didn't do, my mom would wake up and be like, "Siala, pula, siya." Yes, I'm my teacher, for nothing, you know. And that's how my mom is. But I feel like as a kid, I didn't understand her parenting style. So I felt like, oh my God, I needed her to, you know. And like I'm saying, my mom is, no, she loved me. I knew that. But because my mom is, you know, one day when you meet her, you would realize she's like, I think how they grew up actually, her and her sisters, my aunt and all of that, they perfectionists. Like,
so she wanted things
pressure.
Oh yes.
Because it's like my mom.
She was mirroring herself or mirroring the way she wants in the olden days, you know.
Yes, it's like for me,
right
like
way.
My mom, everything had to be procedure, right? And then, with that being said, I'll make an example with at Marks. I've always been a stellar student, right? From primary all the way to high school, all the way to varsity. But my mom would be those parents to be like, hey, you did so well, but where's the other 5%? You could have gotten 100. I know you're capable. So my mom constantly pushed me. I think also in as much as it made me feel like, oh my God, I need you to love me more, or I need you to see me, I need you to see my existence. I felt like also it helped me in a way. Because every time when like a lot of insane things or intense things happened in my life, I'd always think about my mom like, that woman who, like, she'll give me a hiding. And I'll be like, actually, let me do it right way. So my mom is a perfectionist at heart. She's an excellent woman and she's very kind. So sometimes I would feel like, but why were you so kind yesterday, but today in the morning you're waking me up at 5 a.m.? Why am I waking up at 5 a.m. to go to school unless I can wake up at 8? But because she is an excellent person. She wants to do things on time. So it's like, let's wake up at 5. You shower. You can always sit and watch cartoons when you've showered, when you've eaten, when you've brushed your teeth. So as a kid, you feel like,
it's too much.
Yes, it's tense. But I appreciate you so much, Ma Noba. And my dad is very, like, he's always been a softie. I think in my other life, I am him and vice versa. Because, and funny enough, I mirrored my parents. It's crazy because I have my dad's habits, right? And then I think I get my I'm an ambivert, right? Sometimes I'm introverted, sometimes, which is like maybe 10% of the time. But I also have this extroverted personality. I get that from my mom. And then, with my dad has this, you know how I always tell you that I feel like sometimes I don't like people. But because I have this energy, and I get that from my dad, because my dad is not much of a speaker unless if he's comfortable with the environment. But he's got a lot of people around him. Like, I'm always laughing at him and he laughs at me back. It's like, why are you saying I have a lot of friends? You also have a lot of friends. But I'm like, I'm better because not everyone knows me. It's like, no, that's no way, because you're in my space, you feel like everyone knows you, knows me. But when I come to your space, it's like, who are these people? Where is my daughter getting all these people from? You know, how does she know all these people? But that's what's up. And then question number 2, who did you feel what or who did you feel you needed to be for this person to love you more? Your mom. What is it, that one thing or whatever? How do you think you had to be for your mom to actually recognize you, to see you, to love you?
To be academical, because of the time she was here, or the time she was obviously alive, she would literally constantly tell me that I'm a star student. I was a head girl. I got 5 O levels. I never failed at school. So me, it was like, if I do all those things, that means she will love me more because of that's who she is.
Or so because she did well in school, and she used to encourage you and say, look at me, I was this, I was that.
Definitely.
And I need you to be
yes,
that.
I need you to be this academical person because of whose child will you be if you don't have those A's that I used to get at school? I used to love school. And for me, it was like, but why? Because I was not really that type of student that loved school, guys. So for me, it was just like, but why? So now, in order for me to show her that I love her, I obviously had to push myself. I had to make sure that I pass it, so that she'd be like, okay, she tried, because of I was like, I don't think I'll be a head girl like you in my mind, but I was like, but maybe I can be, who knows? Because of, remember when someone is pushing you, she's seeing the light for you.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
she's
see your potential.
of course. But for me, it was like, that's too much pressure, that is unnecessary. But when I then sat back, that was the only way that maybe if I do this, if I do well, I'm making her proud. Because when I was in primary, because of she passed away just when I just entered high school. So when I would do well or whatever, when I get the 7, the 7 score, she'll be so happy, and I know that, oh, weekend, we're going out, I'm going to get something new, or I'm going to go to the mall, I'll get whatever I want. So obviously, because of, she would obviously make sure that I get anything I want. But I think it was that encouragement that, oh, because of today, I passed maybe my maths and I'm getting something. So it obviously pushed me to work hard, because of that's what her specialty. She felt like I needed to be just like her. I needed to be smart. I needed to be this perfect picture that she is. And she would even say that, okay, she would tell me that she lost, so my mom had a baby before me, and she said she lost the baby and lost her school, and she gave up everything. So it was a constant reminder that I shouldn't drop out of school, because of she wanted to see the best, because of she couldn't, because of the day she was supposed to write her exam for her final exam. I don't know what was happening. Her stomach was painful, so she lost the baby and lost the scholarship. So she would always encourage me that work hard, make sure you work hard, and don't be like me. So in my mind, it was always that, it always rang that I need to also work hard, so that I don't fail her, because if she feels she failed herself by obviously what do you call this? She ended up not writing the exam, and she also lost the baby. So she would constantly tell me that, please study, please do this, don't fail yourself, because of I feel like I lost an opportunity because of one, I fell pregnant when I was, and then now the baby is coming on the day I need to write my exams and obviously pursue my career. So for me, I felt like I needed to show her that I can be like her, because of that's what she was mirroring. So I wanted her love in that certain way.
Okay, so personally, like I said, guys, my mom comes from a family of excellence, right? And another thing, my mom is a neat freak, right? So with academics, like I said, I was a star student. Like I never had that problem. That's the great part. Like even now, my mom is always saying, "I'm so grateful you finished school. I'm so grateful." Like she affirms me now. My parents both affirm me, because they tell me how proud they were. Given Guti, I matriculated during times where like a lot of people my age were dropping out, they were getting pregnant and stuff like that. So when I was in matric, or even during my first years of varsity, my parents were very anxious to say, what if she drops out? What if she gets pregnant and all of that? Not they wish that for me, but you know, they were like, my mom has always, like I said, she's always been protective. So, and you know, also I'm back when people talk and they make remarks and they're like, Lona, this is going to happen and stuff like that. And for that, it gave my parents anxiety to say, well, she finished, you know. And I gave them that. I don't know if it's a gift to them, whatever, but I gave them that. I finished school. I finished on record time. I did well in my studies. I tried to be on record time by God's grace in everything I did, right? But if there's one thing, like I said, my mom is a neat freak, right? Generally, I'm neat, right? But I'm not a neat freak.
Okay.
You know, like for instance, I'll make an example. I'm okay with eating and washing my dishes after an hour. But my mom You're done eating. You must wash your dishes
Now.
now. And I'm okay with waking up at 8 and relaxing in my bed and, just starting to clean at 12 or 11. My mom is, hey, you're going to have to, even if it's a weekend, you're going to have to wake up at 7, clean up, and then go back and sleep if you need to.
Okay.
She's a person, wake up, do what you have to do for the weekend, do your chores and stuff like that. So I felt like I needed to be, I don't want to say domesticated, but I felt like I needed to be too clean, too neat,
so that she can be
so
happy.
that she can love me more or be happier with me. And another thing is, Mina, as a high school, and this was a concern to my mom, right? In high school, I wasn't a tomboy, but I wasn't so girly.
Okay.
Like I wasn't, oh my god,
My hair.
lipstick, my hair and stuff. Like I was a basic child. So I think sometimes it raised concerns to my. I don't want to say I was clumsy or anything like that, but it's a thing of my mom would rather have me look a certain way.
Okay.
Or not like look physically, but be presentable in a certain way, right? And for me, those things were like, I'm just a kid, I remember even at school, people would say, oh my god, even you've got such a nice body, you built guy. Why are you wearing this long skirt? Why is your skirt not a bit like shorter so that you look nicer and stuff like that? But for me, those things didn't matter. Like my mom, like I said, my mom is a perfectionist, so I felt I needed to be perfect.
Okay.
So because I knew, like my mom, like I said, my mom is a strict mom, right? And I'm not saying I wasn't allowed to make mistakes, but for my mom, like some mistakes she felt like
why
they didn't have to happen.
Okay.
It's like that mistake where you were in class but you get 8 out of 10. For mom, it's like, how were you in class and did not hear that other 2 points?
Like what did you miss?
Yes, so I felt I needed to be perfect.
Okay.
And I felt like I can't make mistakes. Shouldn't say I shouldn't make mistakes,
okay.
but I thought I can't make mistakes. Even I remember at some point, right? I used to date, right? But I was so discreet with my dating. Like I dated one guy from, I think I started dating grade 10, but it was nothing serious, right? And then a serious relationship I had was the one from grade 11, I think to my 3rd year, right? But when I was in school, I hid that relationship to the core. So my mom never caught messages or anything like that. And I remember she spoke to one of my cousins, like, I'm so concerned. Yvonne is not dating, and that's awkward because when you're in high school, usually you date and all of that. But for me, I couldn't be, because I felt like I might be disappointing my parents. I could be disappointing my mom. So I always tried to. Sometimes I didn't allow myself to be. Like I think on a video my dad did say, I seem to be a shy child, but I'm not shy. I just sometimes don't like being around people. I'm claustrophobic, but I'm not shy. And I felt like because I felt like I can't make mistakes, I can't drop things. Like I just needed to be straight for my mom, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes I think it held me back.
Okay.
Because I don't know if I've ever told you, my deepest fear is failing. Sometimes I don't try because I have that anxiety that I'll do this and it won't work out, and my parents will be disappointed. They didn't say that, but that's how. Yes, that's how maybe I received my mom's strictness because it was a thing of, oh my god. I can't even I think that's why also I'm very mature, because a lot of people tell me how mature I am for my age and all of that, and maybe that's why I'm wise. I get it from my mom and all of that. Me as a kid, I never used that Costco, like in as much as I wasn't a neat freak, but I couldn't play too much because it's like I feel like if I mess my shit up, my mom will be mad.
Okay.
And not that my mom said she'd be mad, but I registered that.
Because she's a neat freak, she wanted things
a certain way. So I feel like, also, I think it goes back, it's important how we receive. I like also what Mpoomy said about parenting. You need to find a balance where you're not just giving your children everything.
Yeah.
And I remember she also posted another video on, I don't know if it was a video or post on Instagram to say, I pray to God that my kids are not what I want them to be, but my prayer is that they fulfill God's purpose for them in life, because
so
very profound. I read it, I'm like, oh my God, this is so powerful, because sometimes our parents, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, bashing parents or anything, but half the time our parents, they want to give us everything. They want to shape us in the way they want.
Yes,
but sometimes it's the opposite of who we are, and it's contrary to what God wants for us.
Definitely.
And that's why I found that statement by Mpoomy so powerful to say, actually, my child can become anything as long as it's God's purpose.
Yeah, it just reminded me of something. I was advising someone at work. I was like, let your child be. If he wants to be an artist, do like let him be.
Make them maximize.
Yes. Don't say because of
anything
you
I've
dreamed
learned.
for him to be a doctor.
Yes.
Now
So-
he must now choose sciences so that
Yeah.
you can fulfill that. I've got a son that is a doctor.
And then, you know, funny enough, I always laugh about this name. My mom always, I don't think, she never told me that I should be a doctor, but she envisioned me as a doctor.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
I
nice.
think she'll tell you right now, at some point, because she didn't understand the noble profession, which like it speaks volumes, heavyweight, I'm like, that's it. So she never understood that it's a heavyweight profession. At some point, I think she felt like I wasted my intelligence because in my parents' eyes, and I hate having to affirm this, I now understand how Brenden felt. I'm a certified genius.
I'm not
Brenden friend. So, and my parents affirmed that, right? And when they affirmed that, to them it was a thing of, I needed to be more.
Yes.
So when I remember initially I wanted to be a journalist or an actor, right?
Yeah.
So my mom didn't understand.
Why?
But
You're so smart.
yeah,
Why?
and even when she talked to her, she was like, my child is going to be a doctor, you know? And then I took it far when in grade 12, I literally dropped all my science subjects. I was just like, not doing life science, not doing pure maths, not doing physics, and I just dropped in all the other subjects.
Okay.
So my mom always wanted me to be a doctor and all of that, but in my doctor, I'm capable. Because there's another thing, I think I've said this to you before. I always say, I personally, and I say this with confidence, and it's one of the things that affirm me. I can be anything.
Yeah,
I can do anything, guys. If I don't do anything properly, just know I'm being shitty. Like I'm just not putting my heart to it. If there's a power I have, I can do anything I tell my heart to do, right? And with that I have that grace in my life, but with that grace comes responsibility.
Definitely.
And when we said it, you need to understand that. Actually, I'm also saying it. You need to understand that it's not everything you're good at that you need to do.
Yes.
It's not everything that you're capable of that you need to do and monetize and all of that. Most of you don't know, but I'm a stellar poet. But it's something that I don't exercise. You know, so I don't exercise that. I write well, you know, I write stories well, write poems well, but I don't exercise that. I'm not shutting myself up, but I've come to understand timing.
Yes.
And I've come to understand season. I've come to understand where I want to be, you know.
True.
Right now, it's like I'm in this legal space. This is where I want to be, you know, and all of that. So, yeah. And our parents love us and all of that. They always want what's best for us. But when we're kids, we receive it differently, right? And then I think this is the second last question, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
What are 5 things you're really good at?
Singing.
Okay.
5. Why am I starting? Okay. Singing is 1. Okay, I would say writing, because if I was one, I wanted also to be a journalist, but I think I didn't, you know, just like singing, I just laid back on those talents. It's like those things like, oh well,
Sure.
it is what it is. I'm good at nurturing.
Okay.
I'm good at that. I know, like, I'm a fan of babies, so I feel like my heart is more of nurturing the babies, you know. That's me. What else am I good at? Wow. I wish I knew how to draw, but that's not me. Let me see. What else am I good at? Guys, I'm good at keeping quiet.
But lol. I think how you should structure it, it's a thing of you're a good observer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what else? It's number 4. Okay, what's the last thing I'm good at? I'm trying to think.
I think that also proves something. I love how the title of the video, I think we're going to start at the same. Self-awareness questions you need to ask yourself. It shows that there's a bit of work you need to do.
Definitely.
Every now and then sit down and ask yourself, what are you relatively good at?
True.
You're good at photography. I don't know why you know that. You see, you need to be aware. And that's another thing I think I'm learning every day. And I think I learned this a lot from Mpoomy and Brenden Ledwaba to say, find that one thing. And I think I was telling you as well to say, there's a guy called young Stilo right here.
Oh yeah, guys.
His photos, he uses, I think, the normal cameras that everyone else uses, right? But his photos are distinguished.
Definitely.
No one edits like Clive Stilo. Like, you guys can go on Instagram and check him out. No one edits like that guy. That's what makes him unique.
Yes. That's why people love his work.
Yes, his photos are out of this world. He's a stellar guy. Simple but stellar. So yeah, she's good at photography. And
what are the 5 things you're good at?
So I think firstly, I'm good at speaking. I speak well, but it's something probably I want to invest in more. I'm probably going to go to a language and speech school because I aspire to be a public speaker and a motivational speaker at some point. Okay, I do it every day, guys. I motivate you guys every day. Like, my WhatsApp is always insane. Like,
Dr. Phil.
Yeah, that's what my dad calls me. And secondly, I'm also good at teaching. I spend a lot of my time teaching and explaining things to people, and I think it's a calling, maybe it's just that energy that rubs off on me because I'm named after a person who's in academia. Yeah, so my aunt, whom I'm named after, is she's a principal right now, but at some point she was a teacher and all of that. So I think maybe I rub off that energy from her because I over explain everything. Like, if you want anyone to explain anything. Like, I'm remembering, actually, I'm thinking about this because Una's is standing right there. Mm-hmm. There's a day I was telling her about, who's that guy? That guy, the guy who trends for spoiling the girlfriend.
Oh, Grootman.
Yes, Grootman, right? I was explaining to who Grootman is. The voice note went to 40 seconds. Ne? She's like to me, but that was unnecessary, bro. You could have told me to go to his page. You know, so I'm an over-explainer of everything. I think it comes from me trying to teach in things that are not even necessary. So for me, every moment is a teaching moment. Okay. You know, I always even tell you how I always find it hard to relate to other YouTubers, and that's why I obsess with like Mpoomy, Abosis and all of that, because I learn. I find it difficult for me to watch anything and not learn. Like I'm just like, wow, what's the point? You know, I wanna watch something or be around people that can teach me or make me a better person, right? Mm-hmm. And then thirdly, guys, I will laugh. Hey, I'm good at being happy. If you want someone to come and cause chaoticness, get joy, call me. I'm your hype girl. I'm very supportive, and I think Brenden mentioned this. One thing about I will hype.
Oh yes,
I will hype my friends. My friends will tell you, like, people around me. I will go to the moon and back. I will hype you. I will support you. And sometimes, like, I always even laugh there. There's this lady I met. I met her now on Instagram. I was telling Ntabi, right? I was telling her that, you know what, I really want to go to an event so badly. And it's not even about what I'm going to benefit. It's because of how amazing she is as a person. I love her so much. I'm like, you know what? If I can, and if my schedule allows me, I want to go there and just show her love because she gives that love. So I believe I'm good at loving, I'm good at supporting people. But I'm team because, wow, it doesn't end well. Like, if I love you and I support you, don't trip because I don't know. I think it's a genetic thing. So yeah. And then another thing, I'm very good at, I'm good at poetry, but I don't do that. And I believe I'm good at acting as well. Like, if you want us to go there, I'll audition. I'll go there. And what am I missing?
Good at writing, as you had mentioned.
Yes, I'm good at writing as well. What else am I good at? And also, yes, I'm good at bringing people together as well. I'm good at bringing people together. I love, like, for instance, with my birthdays, I always try to, and that's the thing, my friends are problematic, guys. So I'm good. I love, it doesn't have to be every day, right? But I love circumstances whereby people are together, people are happy, people are getting to know each other, and all of that. Those are the kind of things that make me happy. And given the opportunity and the capacity, I always try to ensure that people are together, people are happy. And one thing about me, guys, also I'll be honest. Me, I'm good first, actually, like, okay, it's being well spoken, but I'm good at confrontations. I'm good at communication. Like, I will communicate.
Over ask, over question everything.
Like, my thing is, if you're going to communicate, right, communicate properly. Because that's another thing. If you are going to say you're a good communicator, it doesn't mean, hey, I'm going out.
Yeah.
Now, because if you are communicating well, I shouldn't have to say, where are you going to? Who are you going with? You know, so I'm a stellar communicator. I love communication and all of that. And I'm a good lover, man. I wear my heart with a sleeve. Like, I gracefully love. And also, guys, I'm a giver. I think I overdo everything. I think maybe that's another thing that stems from my trauma from on the side of my mom's parenting, to say my mom is a perfectionist. She's very excellent and all of that. I think it's a thing that made me be an overdoer. So I'm an over communicator, over explainer. Anything I do, I go beyond and above. You know, if I'm going to love you, I'm going to love you to the cost. But I'm learning to reach a point where I'm not an overdoer, because some people get overwhelmed and it pushes them away. So I'm learning to be at a point where I'm like, you know, it seems relaxed. But yeah,
I think
guys,
that's what you said. Remember when Mpoomy, that you should let people, people should show you how to love them.
Yes. I always say that. I think I was telling, who else was I telling? To say, Guti, don't force your methods on people.
Yes.
Don't ask me how I want to be loved, because it's really selfish to love me the way you want. Like, I tell you, I'm a gifter, right? Or I'll assure you by speaking to you, telling you I love you and all of that. But is that how the next person wants to be loved?
True.
That's why you have love languages. Sit down, observe, look around you. Does this thing make that person happy? Because if you observe me, because we spend so much time together, I always say, firstly, I don't want a person to gift me with things I can't use, because it's waste. I don't want to gift a person with things they can't use. So I always try to be so observant in that I see what makes you happy. I see what gives you butterflies, and I give you that. And I think sometimes it goes back to good communication. Because another thing is, we don't communicate how we want to be loved and stuff like that. But you want another person to know how to love you. So if a person is loving you wrongly, be vocal about it. And I love how we're moving into a modern society where even parents and daughters and children can actually sit down and have these hard conversations to say, but Ma, you're doing a good job, but this is how I would like to do things. Or Ma, you want me to be that, but this is what I love. You know, because that's why sometimes you find it good. Like, personally, I've always said, I'm doing my master's, guys. Pray for me. Like, I'm just left with one chapter to be a master's graduate. I always say this, like my LLB degree, I owed that to my parents, not necessarily the LLB in nature, but me getting a profound qualification. I owed it to my parents. And me becoming admitted and all of that, I owe it to my parents. And then I feel like after I've done that, I can just do whatever I want. Because like, for instance, I'm saying with you, my mom always saw me as a doctor. So I never wanted to be like, Ma, I want to go to a media school. It's like, huh?
How come?
You know, because also in their times, media wasn't a thing.
It wasn't that popular. It's just like it's a dumb job.
It's
a dumb career. Please,
and
I'm not interested in my kids to do that.
All the time when I talk about such things, my dad will always be like, I must have a backup plan. You know, I'm like, but
media wasn't the backup plan.
You know, so I think if we don't communicate how we feel about stuff or how certain things make us feel, people think we're okay and we're not. You know, so it's very important. How did you feel about actually, I think, that's the last question. How did you feel about affirming yourself, actually recognizing the good things that you are at?
How did I feel? Actually, I feel so great that I know that I'm good at something. I know that at least I've reached out to someone with a smile. Just like I said, I'm nature. So I feel so good when every other parent or someone like, you treated my child so well. You like, my child is in love with you. What did you do? And I'm just like, I didn't even do anything. I didn't
But
even.
my question is, how does it make you feel recognizing that? Because remember, we move daily. Not like, for instance, or another thing I forgot. I'm such a very good folder. I'm able to fold clothes properly. I think no one can beat me at that. Competition, bring it on. You can't fold clothes like me. So I'm saying to you, like for instance, right? You sit down and you recognize. Actually, I'm in nature. No one can look after kids as I do. Actually, I'm good at singing. How does it make you feel recognizing that? Actually, being able to vocalize that.
It made me feel good about myself.
It makes you feel great.
Yes, it makes me feel amazing that God has given me this opportunity to know how to sing, to know how to nature. So I felt what is the word? I felt glad. No, that's not the word. But I felt fulfilled.
Sure.
That it's who I am. I know it and have recognized it that it's one
of your power.
Yes.
Yeah, so
It's one of my speciality that I can stand and be like, I can sing. Yes, I'm not singing in the stages, but I know I can sing very well. You know, I know I can nature kids very well. I know I have that love for kids. So I felt fulfilled. I felt great about it, amazing about it.
Sure. So personally, I feel inspired. I feel light because it's easy to move around. I know personally, because also I think I get that from my mom as well. I love a structured life, right? I want progress. I want things to move. And I think because of that, sometimes I'm not cognizant of the things that I've achieved.
Oh, yes.
I say that a lot. I don't, because one thing about me, I've done so well for myself and for my age, and I don't recognize that very often. I take myself for granted on so many occasions, because for me it feels like, oh no, I had to do that.
Okay.
I had to be working at such an age. I had to get my license at such an age. I had to do my degree on record time. Like I thought, and sometimes I don't sit down and actually say, this is a superpower.
Yes.
I didn't have to, but I did it anyway, and I did it well, you know. So it helps me actually recognize myself more, recognize my power more, and it feels so great. Special thank you to Mpoomy and Brenden Ledwaba.
Thank you
for bringing these questions up and actually making us see that we are amazing, even if we're not told that. I always say, funny enough, I was saying this to one of my cousins so recently. I'm like, every day when you wake up, just know you're a 10 out of 10. No one needs to tell you. You're a 10 out of 10. Give yourself that.
It's your power.
Yes. People say, oh no, I'm not pretty enough or whatever, but prettiness is subjective.
Yes.
If you wake up in the morning and you tell yourself, I'm a 10 out of 10, your day is better than ever. Nothing can disappoint you. But if you leave the house with your head facing down, you give yourself a 0 out of 10, anyone can jump on you and walk on you. But if you wake up every day and tell yourself, I'm a 10 out of 10 and I'm willing to do better, you become a stellar human being. Don't forget to be loved, don't forget to be liked, don't forget to be kindness, and do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Catch you in another video.
Bye.